Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're out at the range with a Bulgarian-made rifle. This is an Arsenal 107R. This is 7.62 by 39. This is the rifle that set the internet on fire at SHOT Show that came to market at $849. That's a really good price, and we do have these at Copper Custom, but we brought it out to showcase a few other things that are out there for the AK world. So first of all, we want to show you one of the 107Rs in use, the new 849 rifles, but also if you take a look at the muzzle of this weapon, it has the Definitive Arms Fighter brake. It's just a drop-on brake. It screws right on with the 14.5 by 1 left-hand thread, and it makes the rifle very controllable with the 7.62 by 39 chambering. But another thing that we have on here is the new Definitive Arms M4 stock adapter. So basically you can take your existing stock off, put this adapter on, and you can run any tube that you want from an AR-15 on the rear of this gun. It has a castle nut that tightens it down. We've chose to go just a mag pull stock on here, but it allows you to adjust for length of pull. And I know a lot of you guys are traditionalists in the AK world, and you go, "Nyet, wood stock is fine," or in this case, polymer. But a lot of us like the functionality of being able to adjust the length of pull, especially when you're running optics. And we are running optics, not magnified. But we have an RS Regulate mount. This is a 301 mount, and on top of it, we have a Primary Arms red dot sight. These Primary Arms red dot sights are extremely functional. They're only $169. We do have these at Copper Custom, but they're just really good sights for the money. If you have a bunch of guns like I do, and you don't want to spend $800 for a T1 Micro every time you buy a new rifle and you want to put a red dot sight on it, this is a great option. We've beat the snot out of them here on the channel, and I've been using them for years, and they're just a really good value, and they're durable for the money. If you don't trust my word for it, check out the AK Operators Union, Rob Ski. He's also a fan of the Primary Arms red dot sights. So anyway, we're going to do a little bit of shooting with this rifle this afternoon, play around with it, have some fun, and let's give you guys some general information on the new 107R, which is only $849 for a Bulgarian-made AK. Let's go ahead and tear up some paper targets. Look how flat this rifle shoots with the fighter brake on it. So that's what we're going to be playing with today, guys. Let's get started. The two things I really wanted to show you guys this afternoon on this 10711, that's what the actual model number is of the $849 AK 10711. We've taken its factory stock off, and I really want to show you guys this new adapter from Definitive Arms and how it works. So you basically pop off your existing factory stock, and if you look inside the gun, you can kind of see how it's installed and how it works. So this one is marked Vepr, and the Vepr, as you guys know, has a slightly thicker 1.5 millimeter receiver, and the 107 has a 1 mil thick receiver. But we found that this Vepr works with the 10711s. Now there is a version of this that is actually intended for the AKM, which we would recommend you would purchase. This one just so happens that the Vepr, we were testing to see what they worked with, and it did plop right into the 10711. That's why it says Vepr right on top of that drum. So basically take your existing stock off, you slide the stock adapter in, it slides over the tang. You do not have to cut your tang off. It just slides right over it, and then you drop this little drum down in there, and there's a screw that you tighten, and it draws the assembly together. And I mean, it's like welded to the gun. It's extremely durable. Then you go ahead and put your standard AR-15 furniture on here. You have your end cap here with your castle nut and whichever tube you decide to go with, and of course then whatever stock that you want. So it's something that you can easily install yourself, and the unit only costs $69. So if you're looking for a non-folding solution, but you want an adjustable length solution, this new Definitive Arms setup seems to be pretty darn nice. Now what you will find, guys, is that it actually sets the gun higher than a standard AK stock. So the iron sights, some of you guys may say, I really have to push my face down to get a proper sight picture. Some of you with more narrow faces like mine can actually get my cheek down. I can still use the iron sights, but I'm definitely pressing my face down against the stock. Where it really shines, though, is when you're using optics like we're using right now. So it sets it up just a little bit higher, so now I really do have a proper cheek weld for a red dot sight. And this is just a standard height sight, which is you've seen these a lot here on the channel before, but this is the RS Regulate mount system. It's a T1 mount system. It's a 301 mount, and that's how we've attached the Primary Arms red dot sight. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, well, first of all, I'll show you can actually put the AKM back together with the RS Regulate mount on there if you want to, although it quick detaches. It just has this little lever right here, and you can just pop that lever up and it'll slide right off. but you don't have to take it off to put your rifle back together. You just put everything in, line everything up, put the top cover over, and just kind of push down. It'll pop right on. You don't have to mess with your sight. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was the fighter brake. So this thing, again, is just a direct replacement for your factory muzzle device. And most every comm block 7.62 by 39 is going to have this 14mm left-hand thread. A lot of the parts kits guns that you're going to buy from any of the parts kits builders, like, you know, Petronov or Lee Armory or something like that, if they're doing a 7.62 by 39, most of them are going to do a 14 by 1 left-hand thread on the barrel, but there are some 14mm versions. But the fighter brake is this small, little, very simple device, but it's amazingly effective. And I think it looks really sharp on the gun. I first learned about this when Rob Ski started talking about them, and I found them to be pretty useful. And again, it's a left-hand thread, so it's the opposite. Just hold down your little plunger right here and just screw the brake on until it stops. It kind of butts up against the sight block, and then back it off until that detent grabs it, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about the bullet hitting the end of the muzzle brake. So the fighter brake has been out from Definitive Arms for a little while, but this new mounting system is really kind of cool, and it's an easy replacement that you can do yourself in about 10 minutes. And I actually like the functionality of it, and you'll see me using AR stocks quite a bit on AKs. As a matter of fact, the P Maginov has a Magpul PRS stock on it, and you know, it just seems like the AR stocks are more functional than the standard AK furniture. It's definitely not something for the traditionalist, but if you're looking for more functionality, it's not very heavy, it's lightweight, and extremely durable. I mean, you're not going to hurt this thing at all. So, there you go. We'll shoot it. It's enough talking about it. We've come back about 60 yards from a target. We have a challenge target downrange. It's a flapper target. This is the first time I've had the rifle out to the range, so I just kind of grossly zeroed the primary arms red dot sight, and we're going to see just how gross my zero is, because I want to see if I'm going to be able to hit that little flapper, which is a little tiny square in the middle of the challenge target. Now, I like a little bit shorter stock pull. I've gotten so used to the AK stock length, I kind of like a shorter stock, even though I don't wear body armor or anything like that. But you also have the option now with the AR buffer tube to get quite a bit more length on that stock, and a lot of American shooters really like a much longer stock than what comes on your standard AK. So let's go ahead and shorten this up just a little bit to where I like it, and let's see just how close to center I am. I actually think I hit the center square. I'm actually hitting the center square. I think I just grossly zeroed it, guys. I put the red dot right over the top of the front post. So I would imagine the iron sights are pretty much on with this rifle too, because all I did was zero the dot over the iron sights. That's empty. That's amazing, guys, how close to being zeroed that is. So that was with my Russian red Bakelite. Have a slab side magazine now. I think these things just look sharp as all get out on an AK. That's part of the fun of AKs, I've noticed. It seems like the AK guys really like to collect rifles. Some guys like to do builds that look like classic military builds. They like the distressed or battlefield pickup look. They'll pay more to have a gun distressed, which is like cutting holes in new jeans, some compare it to. But then there's a lot of us that like to collect magazines as well. If I find a rare or cool magazine, I'll try to pick it up. Sometimes we'll sell them at Copper Custom. Other times I'll just pick up a few I find here and there and keep them in my own private collection. that fighter brake works really, really well, man. It keeps that muzzle flat. The red dot sight is surprisingly zeroed, and I'm really digging the ability to collapse it for storage and then to set it to the length I like for usage. The other cool thing about AKs are they're insanely durable. I bet it maintains 0. Spontaneous stupidness. Sorry, guys. Remember the safety's right here. Put the red dot right in the center of that little man size. Do you need the stock a little shorter?
I think it's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to brush the safety off for you.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
And then put that dot right on the man size target and slowly pull the trigger until it goes bang. Smack! Perfect hit. Just do the exact same thing. I didn't see where that one went. There you go. You hit. Hit him again. Hit him again. Nope. See what happened? You anticipated the shot, and I saw you jerk the rifle down just before it fired. Just keep it out on the center of the target and slowly pull the trigger and let the gun surprise you when it goes off. Just focus on that dot. Hit him again. Hit him again. Hit him again. Little right.
Right again?
Little right, yep.
Yeah.
Slow down, focus on the dot. Don't think about the trigger. Just think about the dot and slowly pull the trigger. Just keep it. It won't lock open, so you'll just get a click. There you go. There you go. Click. Now see what happened right there at the end? That's what we all battle. That's what we call a flinch. And I don't care if you've shot for 20 years. If you get out of practice, when the gun runs empty, you'll do that because you're anticipating the shot. So focus on that dot, slowly pull the trigger and bang, and it works every time. Good job. So we found this little snake running across the range. It's just starting to warm up, guys, and this is the first sign of summer. Natalie didn't want me to shoot him, so he gets a reprieve. But we are going to see how good a gardener snake swim. Check this out. These guys are actually surprisingly good swimmers. Watch, I'll throw him in and he'll drown. Look at him go. Get out of here, little guy. Now watch, they're not going to shoot, but every time we come out and start shooting, the neighbors come out and start shooting. You'll hear it in every video almost. Even if it's like snowing sideways, the neighbors will come out. Even when we try to do a suppressed video, they'll still hear it and come out. Watch, they're just shooting about 5 minutes ago. They probably quit for the afternoon right after I say that. So we're back at about 75 yards now, and let's see if that red dot sight still holds 0 for me. I'm going to say it's just a little bit left. You can actually see the paint on the target. It's kind of favoring left there. I think you may have to bring it just a hair to the right. The further back we go, the more noticeable that becomes. I'm going to hold just a little bit right. So anyway, I just can't resist, guys. Water puddle, little kid in me. I gotta have at least 10 rounds left. Dang it, I can't count at all. One thing I want to show you guys is about this AEM mount. So this whole gun was set up for the first time to be shot this afternoon before we left Copper Custom. So everything on here is brand spanking new. It's a first range session. One thing when you're setting these mounts up you want to be careful of is if you take a look at this nut, you'll notice it's kind of recessed into this little locking bracket right there. When you're setting these up, that's your locking lever. You want it to be just snug enough where it offers a little resistance going on. It'll stop its forward motion, then you flip that lever, and a little detent will keep it in place. How you adjust it for tension is like this. So you push this plate down, and you turn this screw. But if you turn it just a little bit too far, see how it sets on top of that plate? It may give you a positive lock until it seats itself under recoil, and when that screw turns back, it'll go back to flush and your sight will fall off. So when you're putting these on, you want to make sure that you do it properly, and you should have no issues. And when you put it back on the gun, it always goes right back to 0. I have to load up another magazine to prove that, because I think I emptied my only magazine I brought back here to the 75-yard line. But I will prove that for you here in just a minute. Give me a chance to reload a magazine. We're at 75 yards. I'm going to go ahead and take the red dot sight off of the gun and put it back on just to show the repeatability of 0 with the RS Regulate mount. Go ahead and make the weapon hot. Well, guys, it's time to wrap things up and head out, but I hope you enjoyed coming out to the range with the 10711 rifle from Arsenal. I think they shocked everybody at SHOT Show 2017 when they announced this rifle for 850 bucks. I mean, this is a Bulgarian-made rifle, and for less than $1,000, everybody was surprised and quite happy to see that. So it's a great value. Also, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at some of the Definitive Arms products, in particular this brand new AR-15 stock adapter mount from them. These do retail for 69 bucks. There are 2 versions, and you want to buy the right version for your rifle. There's one made for the Vepr, which has a 1.5 mil thick receiver, and there's another one made for the just standard AKMs, which are 1 mil thick. Buy the right one for your rifle. Now, we did put the Vepr one on this rifle, and it happened to work, but we also tried it on another or several other AKMs, and it did not work. So buy the appropriate stock adapter for your gun, once again, AKM or Vepr. And I guess there's just one last thing for us to do, and that's to make sure that this gun hip fires 80 styles. And no, guys, it doesn't use Glock magazines, but uses AK magazines. And let's see if it hip fires. I guess the only flaw with this rifle is it runs out of ammunition way too quick. Hip fires just fine. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, ask those questions down below. Do try to stick around for the first couple of days after a video goes live to answer the questions you guys may have. Also, if you would like to support us here at the Military Arms channel, you can do that by swinging by and checking out Copper Custom. And if you haven't already, check out Full 30. That's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best firearms content creators, brought them under one roof. That is full30.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all those years of support. We'll talk to you guys soon.